Fake Lily is the key card to claim the title. Meghan defied controversy to carry out the plot. I remember some wise words from one of my favorite people ever, Judge Judy, a few years ago. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. Ugh, couldn't have said it better myself. Just imagine having to always cover up your lies with even more lies. The two of them lie about absolutely everything. How low they have sunk if this is all they can come up with. I mean, seriously. Now the kids are their only means of getting attention from the media. And maybe it did work this time. All the photoshopping and the fake internet accounts and the puff pieces about Meghan and her future plans are all becoming very tiresome. Now, if the invisible kids really exist, then I do not believe they came from Meghan's body. And I think that it's high time for the king to act as his popularity is beginning to suffer because people in the UK are not happy to see him dithering like this. Of course, it would have been much less controversial just to be honest and say that a surrogate was indeed used to carry those babies, but the eggs were Meghan's that she had frozen according to her father. Now, if, of course, that really is the case. Surrogacy is pretty popular in the US, and most people accept it. It's not really frowned upon. So many issues would have been easily put to rest. But by lying, not only are they perpetuating this fraud, but they're also quickly losing their credibility. What exactly have they even gained? I mean, when the kids get older, they're probably going to be asking their parents why they did such a thing. And they're probably just going to hear another lie from them. It's all just so absurd. But on the other hand, it's pretty clear why they don't want to admit to using a surrogate, because the law states that the kids would not be allowed to be in the line of succession. Now, nobody's saying that people in the UK frown upon surrogacy, but their situation is not a typical one when it comes to being able to use those kids as bargaining chips. Anyway, I do not even believe there was a surrogate. I don't believe there are any kids at all. I think it's all just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. I would assume that the royal family, and especially the king, wouldn't hand over titles to children who don't even exist. This whole situation just gets more and more ridiculous by the day. They are making absolute fools of themselves, and it's looking like real mental illness has both of them in its grip. It's about time to put an end to all of this nonsense. So either they have two kids or they don't. And if they don't, then what is going on here? The marriage between Meghan and Harry has always been a bit controversial, although not for the reasons that they claim that it is. Meghan was the one who started all this race baiting. Nobody who knew about her mixed race cared. By her own doing, most people did not even know, and they still didn't care, until, of course, Meghan started throwing these racist accusations around at everybody who didn't just bow down to her and kiss her ugly feet. There are always going to be racist bigots in this world, but still, in this day and age, they are the minority. Meghan and Harry were not outshining the more senior royals in popularity or effectiveness in their jobs as working royals. The controversy came from the big changes in Harry's public perception and Meghan's obvious lack of ability or desire to be a part of the royal family's mission and protocol. She wanted all the privileges and the titles, but she was obviously not willing to accept anything but the top spot, which of course was never going to happen. The line of succession has rules, and Meghan knew about the rules, but she is so desperate to always be first, and that's why she started the appalling discussions postulating on her accession to the throne being one helicopter crash away or one plane crash away or whatever it was she said. It's some scary stuff. From the engagement interview all the way to now, Harry has been looking miserable. He's always on edge. Meghan was obviously in control, and she didn't appreciate or respect any kind of correction or instruction on how to act. Well, they were the ones who wanted to leave the job and the family, even the country, to pursue this life of privacy, or so they claimed. But they don't care about privacy. They don't want privacy. They have made a career out of attacking people and filing lawsuits against Harry's family and the British media. Harry wrote that horribly embarrassing book wherein he openly advocates for his ongoing drug abuse. And now Meghan's all focused on building her own brand, and she's not even going to kiss Harry in front of the kiss cam. This is the woman who so infamously kept a hand on Harry at every single moment before. And then Harry couldn't stop talking about his ex-girlfriend throughout his legal case against the British tabloids, and it was so bad that apparently now her husband is considering filing a lawsuit against Harry. He's worried about the effect this is having on Chelsea and their children. Harry walks around looking like he's about ready to hit somebody, and Meghan seems to have that rictus grin permanently plastered on her face. And then there's the enigma of the invisible kids that nobody ever seems to be able to prove really are the children of Harry and Meghan. If you ask me, the two of them have not shown any sign whatsoever of being happy, either individually or together, unless, of course, they're being paid to do that. None of the stuff they say and none of the stuff they does aligns with a happy marriage. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they are on their way to divorce court. Who really knows? But I could understand that people, of course, are going to speculate, considering the strange dynamic and contradictory signals on display. If I had to guess what's going to happen, I would guess it's going to be Meghan leaving Harry. I don't think he's going to be the one to do it. And she's going to make up some reason. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's going to be neglect or abuse or something like that, whatever she thinks people are going to believe. And she's going to take the invisible children and she's going to use those feminist favoring laws, especially in California, to try to take him to the cleaners. And I suspect that Meghan's going to try to use the Me Too movement, that Believe All Women movement, to get herself some sympathy. And Harry's going to end up paying her probably tens of thousands per month. And Harry's going to be thrown away, basically stateless. Will his family pay Meghan on his behalf? Or are they going to accept him back in some way to the UK? Well, who really knows? But of course, that's not going to be Meghan's problem. The only thing she cares about is money and attention. And the invisible children are going to be the pawns used to get both. And I don't know what's going to happen to Harry. He may be broken beyond repair after she's done with him. It does look like Meghan Markle is becoming bored with Harry. She's starting to acknowledge that her little plan to be independently wealthy at the hands of the multiple charities that she was hoping to get money from is probably failing. And she has to know that she's never going to be welcomed back in the UK. And Harry no longer has a supportive wife. He's got a money-hungry, fame-hungry, status-seeking wife. His ex-friends have avoided him for quite a long time now. His own family doesn't even want to have a personal connection with him anymore. His grandmother, the Queen, used to be his biggest fan, and now she's passed away. His person of contact in the royal family, his cousin, is really the only member of the family to talk with him on a regular basis. The marriage that he wanted with Meghan looks much different today than it did back in 2018. Harry is running out of self-confidence and hope. Now, I think divorce is easily an option for his heartbroken life. Now, in the past, Meghan Markle was always clinging onto Harry's arm, or she was trying to force him out of the way so that she would be seen first. In her mind, let's remember, everybody shows up to events just to see her. But she did keep a low profile when Harry's book came out, and she just let him tour the book circuit all by himself. And Meghan also didn't bother coming with him to his father's coronation. That tells us a lot about what's going on between the two of them. Meghan Markle is not going to miss out on an opportunity to get attention for herself unless she's got a really good reason to do so. And no, I do not believe that celebrating Archofficial's birthday was the real reason. Rumor has it the two of them are running out of money again, and if he thinks that the Bank of Daddy is going to donate to him, he's going to be sorely mistaken. Harry has to be seen to be having connections with his family for them to have any relevance whatsoever with Netflix. And when Harry showed up to the coronation, it became obvious how unimportant he really is, and I'm sure that had to hurt. Looks like Meghan and Harry's luck is finally running out, and the opinion is that Meghan has her sights set on politics, and of course finding a new rich man to support her. Meghan might be willing to mail Harry back the Welsh gold wedding band, but she's probably going to keep all the diamonds. And you, what do you think about their marriage? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. Don't be afraid to like and share this video with your friends and relatives who would enjoy it too. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.